Hey, what's up everybody? This is James. I'm back again on Andrew Tech's channel. This video will also be uploaded on my own channel as well, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I am filming at nighttime and I am kind of talking a little softly because I don't want to disturb my neighbors in this video. Also, I am using a cheap light that I bought some time ago in this video as a good comparison.
Hey, what's up everybody? It is cold out here, but I just got a brand new light and I wanted to go ahead and test it out, and that's why it's at nighttime. I'm doing this at nighttime. But right now it is November 1st and it is really cold out there. So, but anyhow, I wanted to tell you that I ended up getting this Viltrox
RB08 mini pocket size light. By the way, that flickering, that's just my camera causing that.
It's similar to the aperture light. It's tiny, it's rechargeable, but this one's from Viltrox. And forgive me, I'm very cold out here, so I try to make it as quick as possible so you ain't gotta worry about listening to my chattering teeth or anything like that. But the purpose of this video is to pretty much test it out. Now right now I have this cheap light, I think it was $20 and stuff like that, and it took one of those Sony NF batteries, and that has been a pretty good light. Actually, for a cheap light, I really love that light. But the thing about it is it's a little bit bulky on top of your camera, and then on top of that you got to put one of those Sony batteries in it. One thing I like about this, it's really convenient, you know, pocket size, and it's rechargeable. So you ain't got to worry about having a Sony battery or anything like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to keep my little cheap one so that, you know, after I test this out, we'll see how long it lasts. And depending on it, you know, if this runs out of power quickly, I'll still have that as a backup. But anyways, I'll do some more videos on this and kind of mash them all up together. So hopefully this won't take too long. This is my first test with this and my initial thoughts of it. And one thing about this, I'm not expecting it to be great, because a lot of times whenever I film, I try, unless I'm running and gunning, but if I'm doing weddings and stuff like that, I always try to set lights up on, you know, light stands and stuff like that, versus, you know, putting a light on top of a camera. But a lot of times when you're running and gunning, you might need a light on top of your camera. Not only that, even if you're doing weddings, sometimes it'll be pretty dark in there. It might help to put like a small light on top of your camera and kind of, you know, bump it up just a little bit so that you can get just a little bit of light to help make their skin pop or whatever, you know.
In this footage right here is a good example of when you would need this light. I used this light at this wedding and I didn't have room to set another light up on a stand so that I can get light coming from a different direction. So I had to go ahead and put it on the camera. And this right here, it did pretty good, although like I said before, it's not as good as the aperture light. It doesn't give you a whole lot of light, and you're going to see that here in a second. It's not as much light as my cheap $24 light.
Anyway, if you want to know what all comes in a package, you get this. You get a nice little adapter to put on top of your camera. The shoe adapter screws in here and also on top of your camera. And also you get this little detachable diffuser and also a charging cable. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else that is in the box except for, you know, typical instructions or whatnot. Okay, this is what it looks like with the light. And this is what it looks like without the light. You can't see nothing at all. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and switch out the lights. All right, so this is what this light looks like whenever you got it on. Now, as you can see, it's not as bright as this one right here, and this is the light that I was talking about. Now, this the little cheap $24 one. This one is pretty darn bright. It is pretty bright. So if I need something more powerful, I would use that. For something a little quick and easy, I think this light does it. As you can see, I'm standing in the same spot as I was whenever this one was on, and this one right here was, pretty bright. It is a pretty bright one to be a, little cheap light, but it did a trick. As you can see, this light ain't helping out much, but if you're at a wedding and you want a little bit of light, this does help. But let me see if I can change the settings. I'm behind the camera right now, and I had to turn my big light on just so I can see what I'm doing. It has like different modes where you can change color. Now this right here gave it like a really warm tone out here. Oh, it gave like a nice real red tint. Yeah, nice and red. So I guess it'd be good if you want a red tint. All right, so that's pretty neat. I think it also do blue as well. I guess it goes from like red to blue or something like that. Although it does look a little bit more better in my camera or in my phone.
Those are basically my first impressions of this light, and I was correct. It pretty much goes to red and blue, warm tone, cold tone. On the back of here, you're going to have a power button, a mode button, which that switches it from power to color and tone mode. And of course, you're going to have these two adjustment buttons. From here, I'm going to show you how to change the modes. You just click on the M right there and are highlighted. And again, I'm sorry because I should have brought my shutter speed up or something. And again, like I said, you just click on the plus or minus button, and that'll change the color tone. Right now it's on 8500K, and you can have it go all the way down. I think it's 35K, and it'll be in a red. Oh, maybe it's 31K, my bad. But once you get it down that low, it'll be red. And then of course you can bring it back up to 84 to make it, or 85, and to make it all the way blue.
So, but anyhow, I'm not an expert when it comes to these lights. I'm not like that DSLR shooter guy, so I'm not an expert when it comes to this. But it is freezing out here outside. My hands are really cold, and I can't really give it a lot of testing. Is this better than the aperture? I don't know. I never had the aperture light. I thought about getting it. I was going to get it, but that was like double the price of this, and I wasn't sure if I would really want it or not. So I think this right here would be good, because a lot of times when I use this, it's actually a little too bright to be on top of your camera. And I got other bright lights that'll go on top of my camera, so I got plenty of that. What I was looking for was something small to add a little bit of light whenever I'm filming, but not too much, and it won't be so bright in their faces. Because if you take a look at this, my goodness, you see that coming at you? You can see the difference in this light and that one. That light right there, I can see the circles of the light. I can see the circles of the light here, but I can see that this is much, much more brighter than that one is. So this is more blinding than what that light is. And it's like really dark out here, so you might want to try to be more closer to your subjects or something like that if you're going to use this light. And like I said, if you want a little bit of a pop whenever you are filming in a darker location and you got other lights up and stuff like that, but you want their face to be lit up just a little bit more, I'd probably suggest getting this. All in all, it's not a bad light. Although if you want a better light, maybe get the aperture light. I heard a lot of great things about that, and maybe get this one.
Okay, it's been a few weeks, and I want to go ahead and give a quick update before I put this video out and how I feel about it right now. Basically, I do like the light. It does okay. I wish it was a little bit more brighter, but for what I need it for, it does okay. If you have a Sony a7 III, or most of these Sony cameras that are good in low light, it works fine for you, and I probably recommend it for them. But at the same time, if you're in like a really dark location, This light might help out a little bit, but not very much. I mean, if you want just a little bit of light to pretty much light up your subject in the dark, this will do fine, as you've seen in this video. But if you want a pretty good amount of light in a really dark location, and it's a large location with a pretty good amount of people, this light might not help you out. Now, with that cheaper light, it will help you out. One thing to note about the cheap light, a little tip for you: if you do get one of these lights, put a rubber band around it that'll help keep the battery in the holster so it won't be falling out all the time. Also, this was filmed on a Panasonic G7 camera, just so you know how it does with a micro four thirds sensor. And something, and you know, of course we all know that the G7 is not all that great in low light. It does okay, but it's not anything like a Sony a7 III in low light. My final thoughts is, if you could afford the extra 20 bucks and get the aperture, because I'm sure that one will probably be better than this one.
Anyways, until next time. Ooh, cold. Peace out. Oh, peace out and live long and prosper. Bye-bye. It is cold out here.